Every NFL season tells a story, and for the Cleveland Browns, this one is already shaping up to be a battle of belief, patience, and conviction. The pressure is rising, the critics are loud, and the fans are frustrated. But amid all this noise, one man is standing firm, refusing to be swayed: head coach Kevin Stefanski. His loyalty to rookie quarterback Dillon Gabriel has become one of the most talked about topics in Cleveland football right now. The Browns' season so far has been anything but smooth. The offense has struggled to find rhythm, execution has been shaky, and results have been disappointing. Their latest loss, a discouraging 23-9 defeat at the hands of the Pittsburgh Steelers, laid bare all the cracks in the system. Mistimed throws, missed opportunities, and a lack of offensive spark left fans questioning whether this team can really compete at the level they're expected to. And at the center of all that scrutiny stands Dillon Gabriel. The rookie quarterback, who was recently handed the starting role after veteran Joe Flacco, was benched. His promotion was meant to inject energy and hope, but instead, it's brought a storm of debate. Should the Browns stay patient with him, or should they start looking for other options? But here's where Kevin Stefanski is drawing the line. Despite the critics and the mounting pressure, Stefanski isn't backing down. He's putting his full faith in Gabriel, calling for patience and growth rather than quick fixes. To him, this isn't about panic moves or temporary wins. It's about building something that lasts. In his recent press conference, Stefanski made it clear that improvement needs to come from every corner, not just the quarterback. "We have to get better in so many areas, and that includes coaching," he said. "That includes how we teach our guys, how we put them in different formations, the ways you run the ball, the ways you pass the ball, all the above." That statement wasn't just a defense of Gabriel. It was a statement of ownership, a coach acknowledging his own role in the struggle and his responsibility to guide this young quarterback through the fire. Stefanski's decision to keep play-calling duties to himself also speaks volumes. He wants Gabriel to grow within a consistent system, one voice, one structure, one philosophy. For a rookie trying to adjust to the relentless speed and complexity of the NFL, that kind of stability could be everything. Sources close to the Browns organization say Stefanski truly believes in Gabriel's potential. They see flashes of talent, the arm strength, the composure under pressure, the leadership instincts. The coaching staff is now focused on refining the details: his timing, his decision-making, his mechanics. They're laying a foundation, not just for this season, but for the seasons to come. But let's be real, the road ahead won't get any easier. Cleveland's upcoming schedule includes powerhouse defenses like the New England Patriots, who thrive on exposing young quarterbacks. Each of these games will be a real test, not just for Gabriel's growth, but for Stefanski's vision as a leader. Fans, of course, want results now. They want touchdowns, wins, celebrations. But Stefanski's mindset is playing the long game. He knows that constantly switching quarterbacks, constantly reshuffling the playbook, only breeds chaos. Instead, he's choosing continuity, a decision that might not bring instant gratification, but could pay off in ways that define this franchise for years. And while rumors continue to swirl about other quarterbacks, including the growing buzz around Shedeur Sanders and whether he could be the next man up, Stefanski's focus hasn't wavered. His belief in Gabriel remains unshaken. He's betting on development, discipline, and trust. What happens next could define not only this season, but Kevin Stefanski's legacy in Cleveland. Will his gamble on youth and stability pay off? Can Dillon Gabriel rise from criticism to confidence, from potential to performance? Those are the questions hanging over the Browns' locker room right now. One thing's for sure, all eyes will be on Cleveland in the coming weeks. This isn't just about football, it's about leadership under fire, belief under pressure, and the courage to stand firm when the world demands change. Because when a coach refuses to waver, when he chooses to believe in his player against all odds, sometimes that's when true greatness is born. So as the Browns prepare for their next challenge, fans will watch not just for touchdowns or victories, but for signs of growth, for glimpses of a future that might finally live up to the promise Cleveland has been chasing for years. Whether you're a Browns believer or a skeptic, one thing's certain: this story isn't over yet. Kevin Stefanski's faith in Dillon Gabriel might just be the turning point Cleveland's been waiting for, or it could be the biggest risk of his coaching career. Something wild is happening in Cleveland. The man who once brought hope, pride, and playoff dreams to the Browns is now standing on the edge of the fire. Kevin Stefanski, the same head coach who once turned the city's football heartbreak into belief, is suddenly fighting for his job. The question isn't if he'll be fired anymore, it's when. It's almost impossible to imagine that the same Kevin Stefanski, who led the Cleveland Browns to the playoffs in 2020 and again in 2023, could now be facing the end of his journey in Cleveland. Back then, fans loved him. Analysts praised him. He was even named the NFL's head coach of the year twice. But the NFL moves fast and loyalty fades even faster. What once looked like the start of a dynasty now looks like the slow collapse of a coach who's simply losing control. Right now, Stefanski's world is burning. The Browns are falling apart, and he's taking all the heat. It's becoming more and more likely that Kevin Stefanski is living his final weeks as the Cleveland Browns head coach. Maybe he'll finish this season, but no one really believes he'll return next year. The winds in Cleveland are changing, and they're blowing Stefanski right out of town. When you take a step back and look at the bigger picture, this whole situation feels like a tragic rerun. The Browns once let go of Baker Mayfield back in 2021, a quarterback who, against all odds, has become one of the best in the NFC with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And now the same team is about to cut ties with the coach who led them to 2 playoff appearances in just a few years. Think about that. Since 1999, the Browns have only made the playoffs 4 times. 2 of those were under Kevin Stefanski. That's half their success in nearly 3 decades. Yet it still might not save him. Last season was a nightmare. The Browns stumbled to a record of 3 wins and 14 losses, and this year isn't looking any better. After a crushing defeat to the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Browns now sit at 1 win and 5 losses. Their only victory came from what most fans would call pure luck, a gift handed to them by the Green Bay Packers' mistakes in Week 3. And if you thought things couldn't get worse, think again. Stefanski's recent decisions have been nothing short of chaotic. In Week 6, against the Steelers, the Browns' offense looked completely lifeless. They lost 23-9, and not a single touchdown was scored. Fans were furious, analysts were baffled. And both rookie quarterback Dillon Gabriel and head coach Kevin Stefanski took the full blast of criticism. So what exactly went wrong? Well, for one, Kevin Stefanski had his rookie quarterback throw the football 52 times against one of the best defenses in the entire league. 52. That's not just risky, that's reckless. Tony Grossi from ESPN Cleveland summed it up perfectly when he said, "To think you could take a rookie QB to Pittsburgh and throw it 52 times is insane." The results proved him right. Dillon Gabriel completed just 29 of those passes, finishing with 221 yards and no touchdowns. That's 2 starts and 2 losses for the rookie. The offense looks frozen, the rhythm is gone, and the fan base is starting to lose patience. And waiting right behind Gabriel is none other than Shedeur Sanders, the backup quarterback who everyone believes could change everything. Next week, things get even more serious. After 2 straight road losses, Gabriel will finally have his first home start against the Miami Dolphins. It's a huge moment, not just for him, but for Stefanski's career. Because if the Browns stumble again, the noise from the fans demanding Shedeur Sanders will be deafening. And if that happens, it might just mark the beginning of the end for Kevin Stefanski's time in Cleveland. What's happening with the Browns feels like a slow-motion disaster, a mix of bad luck, worse decisions, and a locker room losing its belief. Stefanski was once the hero, the man who rebuilt a broken team and gave them purpose. But now it looks like the story of Kevin Stefanski in Cleveland is heading toward its final chapter. So what do you think? Is this truly the end for Kevin Stefanski in Cleveland? Or is there still one last miracle left for the man who once revived the Browns? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're a true Browns fan, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because the drama in Cleveland is far from over. The next few weeks could change everything.